Hello, good evening, and welcome to another post-match analysis. This is Minzy, and this is my Bulgarian tie. I'm here to talk about Bangladesh's win over Scotland in the T20 World Cup for the women's. To be fair, I won't really talk too much about it apart from this game, and then I'll probably talk about them until after the final, really. Not that I see the Bangladeshi women's team getting anywhere close to the final. Listen, hey, got to give a little wee puff of this shitty vape of blue raspberry. Yeah, it was a solid win. A really solid win. Obviously, a bit of a political controversy. The tournament was supposed to be held in Bangladesh. It would have been good for the country. It would have been, but more importantly, it would have been good for the women's team, of course, because this would have been an ICC event in our country hosting, top countries and top nations coming over, and it would have also helped boost Bangladesh's game a little bit. Like this women's team have a lot of love and respect for the opposition out there. They've got idols in all sorts of nations, from India, Australia, England, you name it. This would have been more of a chance to show them what Bangladesh has got to offer, really. But unfortunately, because of the political unrest and the upheaval, safety is a number one priority, and it wasn't deemed safe enough. So for the right reasons, it was moved to the UAE. Bangladesh still have I can't remember what they said, was it the hosting rights or something like that? So they still get a portion of the revenue, but obviously it won't be dragging the fans that it would have brought home. And obviously they don't have the real home support. They do have a technical home support back in Dubai, and there's a lot of expats all over the world working in Dubai, and they all get some sort of support, but it's not going to be the same. And I do feel sorry for them. I genuinely do. I think we would have hosted a very good World Cup, and it would have been fun, and it would have had a lot of flavour. It would have had a lot of spice, and it would have been an interesting tournament to host, really, because I don't think Bangladesh are due to host another tournament until 2031 after this one, and that will be shared with India for the World Cup, if I'm not mistaken. So we're not going to get any ICC tournaments for a while now, and this was a really good chance to showcase what Bangladesh had, and unfortunately it got taken away from us by our own doing. It's our own fault. We've let them down. And it was sad kind of reading our captain's post on March. I think she had a word with someone from the ESPN Quick Info journalism column talking about the excitement of hosting a tournament in Bangladesh and having the home support, but obviously things have gotten slightly changed. But onto the game against Scotland, they got 119. Was it enough? It just about was. I think they won by how many runs did they win by? Was it 15? No, 16 runs. Can't remember from the top of my head, but hey ho. They just about squeezed over the line. Spin did the trick in that game. Bit disappointed to see 4 drop catches. There were also some drop catches from Scotland that could have restricted our total to a lot further than 119. I don't want to obviously criticise the drop catches too much. When you look at it, it's different because obviously I'm looking at it from a male perspective, innit? And you see those catches and they look like dollies. Probably in a presser environment would I catch it? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? But they did look like dollies. That's the problem. They did look like dollies. But hey, I don't want to criticize at the end of the day, Presser can get to anyone. And I've even seen the men's team drop them as well. Like I said, I've seen that happen. And I'm sure I would have probably dropped them. Heck, I would have probably had one bounce off the top of my big forehead. But anywho, I hope Bangladesh and England do well. They're playing each other next in a couple of hours' time. Realistically, who do I see winning the tournament? Because there's been a couple of matches that are played so far. I know Australia and England haven't started yet. They're on opposite ends of the group. I think I already know which way it's gonna go. I think Australia will go through. So the way it works is there's two groups of 5 teams. The top 2 in each group go through to the semi-finals and then the finals. So in our group, we've got Bangladesh, England, West Indies, South Africa, and Scotland. Now, Bangladesh beat Scotland on 2 points, and South Africa beat West Indies. So they're also on 2 points, and England are going to start their campaign today against Bangladesh. But in reality, I think the top 2 is going to be a toss-up between, realistically, England, South Africa, and West Indies. I'll be generally honest. I think I was happy to see, Bangladesh beat Scotland. Obviously, the emotions were pouring out wildly for Bangladesh because amidst the political backdrop, but also just they haven't won a group game since 2014. So obviously it meant a lot to them. So happy to see that, but do I see them picking up points elsewhere? Not really, unfortunately. I think at least we avoided the ignominy of the wooden spoon. But like I said, it's going to be a toss-up between those 3 nations, West Indies, South Africa and England. And I think England and South Africa will go through personally. And I hope maybe Bangladesh can pick up a point against West Indies and then finish on 4 points. And I think that will be a good campaign for them if they can do it. I know they beat South Africa last year. So, but they'll have to make sure everything's perfect because the batting is atrocious for Bangladesh, unfortunately. It's really bad. So we have to hope we spin them out for like less than triple digits and then hope the batting pulls through somehow. It's the only way I can see Bangladesh beating South Africa, but it has to be 2-2-2 perfect. And then maybe we can start going, there might be a semi-final shout. I mean, if they get to the semi-final, that's well over achievement, and I'll be absolutely over the moon for them. But I'm hoping that England can carry the flag and win the tournament instead. But yeah, England and South Africa to go through in that one. Now, in the other group, interestingly enough, New Zealand have already beaten India, and then Pakistan have beaten West Indies, and now Australia are left to play. So those are the 5 teams over there. I think Australia will go through. And based upon what New Zealand and India have done, it was almost a virtual quarter-final. I think New Zealand will go through. So those are those 2 going through into the semi-finals. And then, yeah, it'll be probably Australia versus South Africa. That'll be a good one. And then New Zealand versus England, which will be a good one. Hopefully England squeeze through, and then probably Australia beating South Africa. And then, lo and behold, you've got England, Australia in the final. Who will win between those 2? It will be tough to call. Very, very, very tough to call. But hopefully it will be the lionesses that will slaughter the Roos in the final. But that's my take on that. Let's see what the tigresses do. We started off well. Congratulations to them. Best of luck against England today. Let's see what happens. This is Menze. Now fuck off.